Oh, true confessions. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I've been watching the trial quite just dipping in and dipping out. And the first thing I would like to say is if the outcome is the way it's looking like it's going to go, or you think it should go, I think the judge in the trial in Britain should be revisited, or the whole trial should be revisited, and basically examined and possibly overturned and retried again, because I don't think it's a safe decision. I think it was done on a political basis, i.e. you can't come out against a woman in a man versus woman trial in this country. I think it was a woke decision, not a proper decision about what the legalities. Now, I, historically, in a previous incarnation, lived with a woman who abused me. She used to get her fists out at any opportunity if there was a dispute. It all started when one night we were in a pub and she got attacked by another woman, and it was a proper cat fight, hair scratching and hair pulling and everything like that. And she came off second best, and I sort of got in between, split them up and got her out of there and said to her, you can stop that. You could stop if anything like that happens again. There's a very easy way of dealing with that, because I've been trained. I've been a boxer. I've been in the ring. I'd come second. Nearly come first a couple of times. But I did know some basic boxing. I was quite a good fighter, and so I just showed her. I had some focus mitts, and I put a pair of gloves on her. I still had a pair of gloves, and I had some focus mitts. So I hadn't done it for ages. I just said, put them up, put your duds up, and I showed her a jab cross, jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. Nothing else. I just worked her with a jab cross, no uppercut, no roundhouse, no nothing like that. Just straight jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. And she got pretty sharp really, 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 really quickly, because she was a similar sort of stature to me. Actually, she was probably exactly my height, and we were very physically very, very sort of comparable. She wasn't a little girl; she was quite a big girl. She wasn't fat. She was quite muscular, because she worked with her arms and legs. She worked in a sort of a physical sort of job and everything like that. And jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. Anyway, so that was the first time she hit me, actually. Because we've been working it for a couple of days, and we were in the hallway, and I didn't have the mitts up or anything like that, and I didn't have a thing, and she didn't have gloves on. Because you can do it with your palms of your hands, and I just put the palms of my hands up, and I said, "Come on then," like that. Instead of going for the palms of my hands, she hit me straight in the face, twice, really fast. And oh god, and it was a knock, And I said, "What'd you do that for?" She said, "I thought that's what you said me to do." I said, "No," I said, "You hit the palms of my hands, And she said, "Oh no, I wanted to see if I could hit your face." I said, "Oh, right, that hurt. Don't do that again, please." Anyway, I said, "Yes, that hurt." Anyway, she says to me, "I'm going out." And I said, "Well, I can't go out just yet. I'll catch up with you. Where you going?" Growing up, we had quite a drinky sort of relationship. So she said, "Oh, I'm just going up the such and such pub." So I wander up the such and such pub, about half an hour behind her, and I walk in there, and there's a bit of a sort of atmosphere and commotion, and I can't find her. And I said, "Anybody seen her?" And somebody says, "Yeah, she came in and battered that woman that attacked her last week." I said, "Oh God, what's happened?" I said, "The ambulance has just taken that woman away to hospital. I mean, she battered her properly." And I said, "Well, where is she?" And they said, "I don't know." And somebody said, "I think she's gone up the so-and-so." I said, "Are the police involved?" And they said, "Apparently the police haven't been called." I said, "Well, that's all right. Let's get up there." And I said, "Get up to the next pub." And lo and behold, there's another atmosphere there. I said, "Have you seen my partner?" And they said, "Yeah, she's gone. She just battered this bloke." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "She just came in, didn't say anything, battered him, and left." And I said, what's this? Yeah, and I went and seen him. He was there, and he'd been hit. You could see he'd been hit. He had a face out like an eye out like this. And I said, what's going on? And he said, your missus just battered me. I said, why? And he said, well, we've had an argument. And I said, well, I don't know anything about this. Like, and he said, yeah, no. And I didn't inquire. I didn't want to know what had been going on. Anyway, I said, does anybody know where she's gone? And nobody knew where she's gone. So I went home. Anyway, it transpired. She went to another pub and battered somebody else. 3 people she had beefs with. She went straight out and battered them. Jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Anyway, from that time in our relationship, if she had a beef with me, a fist would come out. She would, if she became frustrated or something like that, she'd throw punches. I mean, in one time, she thought I'd been over friendly with this woman, which I was just talking to, and she just sucker punched me straight over a bonnet of a car, proper hit. She had a good fucking hit, and basically, this relationship was going absolutely nowhere, as you can imagine, but she was very, very difficult to leave, or very, very difficult to sort of expedite yourself from it, so it went on, and I basically confided in a few of my mates that I was a bit of a battered man, and I didn't raise my fist back to her, though God knows sometimes I fantasized about it, but anyway, we did split up. I caught her being infidel. She was shagging the bloke next door when I was working away in France, and so that was a great excuse for me to get the fuck away. And I got the fuck away. And she turned nasty after that. She went round the whole village where we lived and told everybody that I'd been beating her, and it was everything she'd been doing to me. She put on me. And and I did. People started behaving strangely towards me, who'd been sort of friendly and sort of quite thing. And it soured a lot of And one day I walked into a pub and I said, "Can I have a pint of Bass, please?" And the barman said, "No." And I said, "You're all right. I'm not going to name names because there are people still alive." And he I don't know if he's going to watch this, but he's still around. And he said, I don't serve wife beaters. And I said, I completely agree with you. I'm totally with you on that one. Can I have a pint of Bass, please? He said, "You're a wife beater." I said, on what grounds? And he said, "So-and-so told me you beat her." I said, "Have you spoken to me about that then?" And I said, "All right." I said, "If you're going to accuse me of being a wife beater," I said, "I'm not." I said, "Most men who hit women are usually cowards, aren't they?" I said, "You're a big rugby player. You're a big bloke. Let's go outside now and sort it out." He was a coward and he poured me a pint. But I was sort of I'd been wondering why everybody had been acting a bit oddly towards me in the village. Anyway, and if I ever saw my ex-partner, she would sort of cross over the road and act scared, she'd pretend like she was terrified of me. Anyway, one day, because we live quite out in the wilds and everything like that as well, so I bumped into her away from everybody else, and she was completely sort of hello, and I said, "Why do you tell everybody I beat you up?" I said, "After it was you that was beating me up." And she said, "I wanted to ruin your life. I wanted to get you out of the village. I wanted to make it so you had to move from where you or your friends and associates were. I wanted to just destroy your life and make you have to start again." I said, "Well, that ain't going to work because I ain't fucking cowing to you anymore, And, but, I mean, needless to say, it sorted the wheat from the chaff, because basically I had to go around and sort of address this with a lot of people. It was really, really very, very difficult. And it put me in a really, really difficult situation, and it was a false accusation. It was 100% false accusation. And in fact, I'd been the victim of domestic violence. And being a bloke, It's not something that you want to go around admitting to everybody. Like, you don't want to go around, yeah, my missus batters me, because from a bloke's perspective, it looks thing like, yeah. Anyway, the guy that accused me in the bar, like the barman, he played in another football match quite a few years later, after I've got remarried and everything like that, and had a family and had young kids, and we were playing football, and he was in the other team, and he said something about this, wife beater and everything like that, whilst he was on the other team, and he kept fucking niggling me all the way through this match. Anyway, 5 minutes from the end, I broke 2 of his ribs and flattened him, which you can do in football. Anybody tells you it's not a contact sport, it's not. I broke 2 of his ribs. His wife came round and actually was moaning at me and my wife about why would I do that? He couldn't go to work, he couldn't earn money and everything like that. And I said, you better ask him why I did it. Yeah. And to that day, he keeps right out of my way. That's got to be 15, 20 years ago now. And he keeps right out of my way to this day. Because he accused me of being a wife beater in public, in front of the whole pub, without any evidence. Yeah. And this is what happens. It puts a stigma on you. And if you're a bloke, it's very, very difficult to counter these arguments and things like that. Yeah. What can you say? Say, no, I'm not. I don't, hit women. I don't, and that's it. But you don't want to protest too much because, so it's an invidious situation. And what Amber Heard's done to Johnny Depp, if by the looks of it, is something very, very similar. She didn't get her own way, so she went in really, really low. Yeah. And I know their relationship was toxic, and I know their relationship was sort of like a thing, and I know Johnny Depp is no fucking angel by any stretch of the imagination. But I would back if I could, if there was somebody, there was a God who actually knew everything, who was available to say, I would put money on the fact that out of that relationship, much, same in my relationship, I don't know. But my money would go down on Johnny Depp not being an abuser. He abused a lot of things, but I don't think he abused Amber Heard. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you've got this far, yeah. But any blokes out there that have been through that situation, How do you talk? How do you talk about it? How do you broach it? Because it's very, 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 very difficult to do. Anyway, peace and love. And have a good one.